Aloha and welcome everyone to Heart to Spirit Connections. This is April 1st, 2023, and I'm so grateful to have everybody here. There's no joke, although I've heard a few April 1st jokes already today. Thank you for joining me from all around the country, and I'm sure people watching this will on the recording will also be joining us later. Thank you so much. And this is a webinar program on first Saturdays to expand our heart's connection with spiritual guidance and elevate our awareness of the love using the tools of Lemurian conscious creation. So our topic today is You Are Not Alone. Meet and greet your guides and angels. And we'll get into that in just a minute. But as we begin, can everybody just sit very comfortably and just take some deep breaths and just bring in the beautiful golden particles of love through your crown chakra and bring them down into your heart and lock the energy there and let the love, as you exhale, flow out through your four-bodied weave for physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. And just feel the love and the guidance, your guides, your angels, your higher self gathering around you now for this gathering of goddess lights and energies of love for heart to spirit connections today. We pray for the presence of the Master Guide Kirill and Kahu Fred Sterling and all of our angels and guides and higher selves to come forth now in beautiful service with us as we come together to understand our heart's connection into the spirit light. And we offer this prayer from our hearts in love. Amen. All right, so we get another couple people in here. Aloha, Faith. And I'm going to admit everybody all at once. There we go. Good. So thank you for joining me in that prayer and the centering. Remember, the 5 breath self-healing meditation is a beautiful practice to start to connect your heart to your spirit guidance. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you can find it on the signaturecellhealing.com website. And I also have links to that from my KarinnaNielsen.com website. So I'm grateful for everybody here. Aloha to those who have just joined us. Please ask your questions at any time. I'm going to keep everybody on mute, but you can always raise your hand, that little yellow hand that goes up, or you can type it in the chat. And Barbara, thank you for letting us know. No problem. The recording is either on my website or on my YouTube channel. So you can always go back in and watch the rest of the program. So today is April 1st. And we know that as April Fool's Day. So I just want to get that out of the way right now. I've heard a couple of April Fool's jokes already today. But did you know where this originally came from, this April Fool's? Because there was a time, long time ago, I'm going all the way back to 1582, when the prevailing calendar, the Julian calendar, was changed to the Gregorian calendar, and that shifted New Year's Day from March-April timeframe around the equinox to January, which didn't make sense to the people at that time because it didn't follow any kind of sun or moon or solar or lunar energies. So they didn't pick up on that calendar change very quickly. So the people that didn't make the change, and of course, anyway, news didn't travel very quickly at that time. And those that stayed with the old calendar system and still celebrated New Year's in April, at the beginning of April, those were called April Fools. And they did that in order to kind of shame them into switching to January 1st, which didn't make sense to anybody, but it seems to make sense to us now. That's the way we do it. And it is kind of a crazy calendar when you look at it. The Hawaiians have a calendar that is based on the nights of the moon, which sure makes a lot more sense to me. And following the equinoxes and the solstice, that the winter and the summer solstice, that seems to make more sense. But we have this calendar that we're using now, and we also have what's become April Fool's Day. So this is a way of just now playing practical jokes, right? So here we are on April Fool's Day, but I told you it's no joke. We're actually here, and I'm going to pick a Lemurian prophecy card to start our gathering. So this is a wonderful way when we talk about connecting to your spirit guidance. This is a beautiful way. It's a regular card deck, so anybody can do this, right? So I'm gonna shuffle the cards 5 times because in the Lemurian numerology, 5 is the number for love. So we're gonna put love into the cards. And the Lemurians used something like this for guidance, but this is a kind of guidance that I learned from Kahu Fred Sterling and Master Guide Kirill to help me, or anybody who was doing it at the time we were learning, to receive guidance. So it's all about just finding the ways that work for you to open up to receive guidance from your own higher self, your guides, and your angels. There's really nothing special about it. It's just about doing it on a regular basis and trusting and believing that you really are getting messages from someone who is not incarnate, or an energy that's not in the physical, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So everybody put your energy into the cards. That's a lot of energy today. Okay, and we're going to take a card for today. Oh, this is great. Okay, so today we have the 9 of Diamonds. Now, this follows the Lemurian numerology, and the Lemurian numerology you can find in all of the books from Kahu Fred Sterling and Master Guide Kirill. I've got one here, the 10 Principles of Consciously Creating, and I got one back there, the Lemurian Legacy. All of them have the Lemurian numerology in it because it's such a beautiful way of getting guidance. So you can use numbers in any situation to help you receive guidance. The 9 is a number that represents completions and new beginnings. So we have a new beginning today for your interaction with guidance. And the suits, there are 4 suits, and this is based on the 4 aspects of who you are. Physical for the diamonds, emotional is the hearts, clubs are the mental body, and the spirit body is the spades. So you weave in, so this is a 9, and it's about completions and new beginnings, and it's about our physical body or our physical world being at a time of completion and new beginnings. And isn't that the truth? We definitely are in this great shift in consciousness right now. And if you don't believe me, look outside, turn on your TV, we can also feel it in our own lives. We don't have to really look at the news or anything like that. We can look at our own relationships, our own physical bodies, how we might be shifting or being challenged to shift. And this is the time that we definitely want to get guidance from the spirit light. And that became really important for me when I first started with my spiritual journey. And I wasn't very young. I was in the latter part of my 30s, going into my 40s. when I met Carl Fred Sterling and Master Guide Carol. I had nothing to do with spirituality before that. I didn't know what a medium was or a channel. I didn't know what healing was about. I was raised in a very nice Methodist family. And we just didn't have an awareness of that. I had, for the first part of my life, a very third dimensional journey. And it was very important for me to do that in that part of my life. And then came the time for me to shift. So then I entered into this time where I started wondering, what do all these people around me in the Honolulu Church of Light, what do they know that I don't know? Because they're talking about angels, and they're talking about talking to your guides, and they're talking about getting guidance from your higher self. And I thought, wow, they're special. They can do that. And I don't know how to do that. So I, of course, you know, if you know me and my energy, I want to learn it right away. I want it all, you know. So I embarked on a journey to get as much information as I could. So I learned about prayer and meditation, which are the 2 of the 10 principles of consciously creating. That's why I have the book there today, because I found that when I started using the 10 principles, truth, trust, and passion, clarity, communication, completion, prayer, meditation, sleep state programming, and masterminding, I started to receive guidance. So when you pray, and I'm not talking about a religious prayer now, okay? I'm talking about a heartfelt prayer from your heart, from your truth of what you want to know from your guidance. So meaning your angels, your guides, your higher self. If you feel like you're in a challenging spot and you really don't know what to do or how to go forward, or you're really in a fix. Maybe you're in have a physical ailment. Maybe you've developed a critical disease. That's a really good time to pray and clearly state, I want to know this. I want to know my next step. Please help me see my next step. Please help me to take the next steps in my journey and heal. How can I heal? And you will receive the answer to a prayer said in clarity when you meditate afterwards and listen. So that's a really important thing, is we can go on and on about our problems, right? But we got to listen for the guidance. So if we're going to meet and greet our guides and angels and feel like we're not alone, we've got to listen and connect. And there are various ways of doing it. One I showed you is doing the Lemurian prophecy cards. Another is the prayer and meditation and listening. And then one really important one that I learned when I started at the Honolulu Church of Light was everybody was doing automatic writing. And that, you know, people call it various things like journaling or, it doesn't mean you have to write with your non-dominant hand, okay? It's not that. You say your prayer, you do your 5 breath self-healing meditation, very important, and then do a meditation and just breathe. And I'm going to lead you in a meditation later where you can go into this, this safe space where you can create. And then when you're finished, listen for a word, a sentence, maybe you get an image or a picture, something, some kind of message, right? It could be anything because everybody's different. I started to get words, and then I started to get sentences, and now I'm getting really long writings, right? Because it takes practice, but if you learn to listen, you will receive the answers. So you can, after you finish your meditation ask a question and write it down. You can even write it down. Help me. What can I do to heal this? And then listen for the answer and just write. Maybe it's a word. Maybe you get a picture. Maybe you get a sentence. Maybe you get more. If you don't get anything, don't worry. Try it again. Just keep trying. Don't give up. That's a really important thing. That's the thing that Alfred Sterling always said. Never give up. Never give up. So even if you are working through something as serious as cancer or any kind of emotional relationships in your family, don't give up. Keep trying, because it's about our blueprint, right? So before we incarnated here, and I said this last month in the other webinar, the Signature Cell Healing webinar, we put all of this into our blueprint. Imagine that. Imagine we put all these challenging things in our blueprint, in our life plan, because we want to learn and we want to evolve our light and learn to be at new levels of love. So we put these challenging things in our blueprint so we can heal through them and evolve and raise our level of love. So don't give up, keep trying, and try the automatic writing. It's a really beautiful way of receiving guidance. And just before I go on with that, I wanted to tell you that if you didn't feel it this morning, I certainly did. Beyond April Fool's Day, we also come into this new energy of April, right? And for me, it's a dynamic energy because it's my birthday month. And I love yours too, Gloria. Great. Yeah, see. So, I mean, Aries people or, April people have a lot of energy, and we're kind of born with this, what can I say? Optimistic, energetic, it's always springtime, spring is coming. So we feel this energy of renewal. And I believe there's always hope. And there's always something we can do ourselves to take another step forward. Never despair. You're not alone. Not only are we all here together, right? All the spiritualists that gather in these webinars, and I'm always here for you. You're also here with those guides and those angels and those energies. So this month, as we come into the number 4 in Lemurian numerology, that's the number of thought and balancing those 4 bodies I talked about before: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And your thoughts have a lot to do with that. So if you think, you can connect with your guidance and your angels, you can. And if you think that you can't, right? Because what we think is really powerful. And you're going to find that the positive thoughts are more empowering than the negative ones. So my guidance, and this isn't just my April energetic self telling you, don't give up, but don't give up and keep trying and try different things. Because once you open and try, saying a prayer and then meditating, 5 breath self-healing meditation, automatic writing. Once you do, you're going to start to see things shifting. And what you can do is pay very close attention. I had a client come for healing recently, and I'm not going to say who it was, but I told her story of something that happened to me when I first went to the Honolulu Church of Light. For some reason, in those days, I didn't know anything about it. They gave me the assignment to renovate the church's website at that time. And this is in the 80s, no, 90s, folks. So websites were very new. And so there probably wasn't as much to learn as there is right now. But somehow I got assigned that job, and I was full on into it. And I was getting, at one point, I can remember myself sitting there in that little office and in front of the computer, and I was getting so frustrated. I was really getting frustrated. And I thought, oh, you know, all the things you say when you're so frustrated, this is not working. And what I learned afterwards from Master Guide Kirill was that I had angels that were all around me. They're all around me. And they had the assignment to get me to understand what I needed to do. That was the angel's assignment. So there was one angel in that whole group of angels. Master Kirill used to call them a gaggle of angels, right? They were all around me trying to help me, because that's what angels do. Angels are here to help us. They're just pure love. And their assignment is to help us, but they don't have like a voice, right? They have to kind of whisper in our mind, or get us to understand something the way angels can do it, right? Without speaking the way we do. They're not human, right? So this one angel had the assignment to get me to understand. Now, if I had gotten the message, which I did eventually get the message from that angel was out of here, left. That was the end of its assignment. It went up another level. So, I mean, angels, there's a hierarchy, right? They have different levels that they go through as they are angels. So this one got to go up a level just because I understood what it was trying to tell me about that website. And then I thought, wow, if that's all it takes, and I can help those angels too, that's pretty neat, isn't it? So they're here to help me, and I'm here to help them. So now I get back to my client. My client who came for healing, she had lost her ring. And so I told her, you're looking around for your ring and you're saying, I can't find it. I can't find it. I can't find it. Now, as long as you say, I can't find it, what do you think? You can't find it. So what you might want to do is sit and say a prayer and call in your angels and say, help me find this ring that I lost. Help me find the ring. And as soon as you find that ring, or as soon as it's not about finding, it's about taking the step that the angel is trying to tell you. As soon as you do that, that angel is out of here and graduates into the next level. So help your angels while you help yourself. The angels are, for me, they're a very real presence. I love my angels. I love my guidance. Now, how do you meet and greet your angels and guidance? And we're going to get to that in just a second. We're going to do a meditation. And this is kind of what I started doing in meditation, asking, because I found out that I had angels and I had guides. Now, guides are a different experience in the spiritual world. Angels, I think we're all pretty familiar with, from religious teachings and everything, but angels have a certain type of experience. The guides are a different realm of experience. For example, there's a Master Guide Kirill, or there could be elven guidance. Master Kirill wrote about that, or channeled through me this article for this month about the elven guidance. So some of you might have elven guidance from the elven world. You can read about that. It's on my website. There are different guides from other maybe planetary systems. Sorry, going way out here now. You could have guidance from the Pleiades, or guidance from Sirius, or different planetary energies from other realms. There are different guides, and they're not incarnate, they're a spiritual essence. So when we meditate, we can connect with them. Now, I found out I had a whole council of 12 guidance factors that were helping me. And boy, that really got my attention because I wanted to know, who are those 12? So in meditation, I connected to each one, and I even wrote it down on a paper and had the whole circle and identified that, oh, Master Guide Kirill was guiding me. And also I had dolphins, and I had whale energies that were guiding me. I had angels, I had masters like Master Jesus guiding me. So I filled out my whole council. This really helped me to feel the different energies of the different guidance, because they all feel a little bit different. And, I'm not anybody special. I'm just somebody who kept at it. I didn't give up. And I'm talking about, 25 years ago, 25 to 30 years ago, I started doing this. But it was really a different realm for me. I wasn't something that I was raised in or that I was familiar with. So it was very, very intriguing to me to learn about these different guides and get information from them. So that's how I became a channel initially and a medium. That's what is on my website in the channel guidance. A lot of the messages that I've received over the years. And you can do that too, because you have your own entourage, your own team of guidance factors that are walking with you every day. And we're just not aware of it. Maybe we become aware of it one by one, but they're there, and they're there to help you, and you're never alone. So these are the ways that we can connect. And I want you to try it now. So we're getting into the time for our meditation. Are there any questions? Because I know I've been kind of going on, or does anybody have experiences like that of connecting with your guidance and feeling the energies around you? Because some people, who told me the other day that Master Kahu Fred came through in one of the meditations, which is really what he's doing now, is kind of showing up in people's meditations and guiding us through the different realms. So, if you feel like sharing, please do. You can type it in the chat, or you can raise your hand. That's fine.
I'm trying to find the chat. Sorry.
Oh, okay, Aldine.
Oh, there. Oh, I just found the chat. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, tell us.
What I find, which I find fun, is when you do ask, and most of the time I work with angels, but
Yes.
it's not just angels, it's angels and guides. But when I do ask for something, I say, show me a sign. And the signs I get are hilarious. So this is a recent thing. We're going to a tea with my goddess sisters. We're going to a tea. And the group that we have is called Black Diamond. And so this car in front of me, a black SUV, had a license plate. The license plate said BLDMND. So it was almost like, oh, how wonderful, you're going to meet your group. And we're saying hello. And I think if you begin to notice those kind of things, life becomes even more fun.
Yes, and very magical.
Magical. Good word.
Yes.
Anyway, that was my share. Love to you
Thank
all.
you. And I know, Mahinaku, you also have a kind of a communication with your mom and dad who have transitioned or passed away, with seeing something on the ground or something like that, don't you?
Yes. My dad sends me pennies, and my mom sends me quarters.
Oh, so great.
And that's really fun, because I'm aware of those coins, at moments where I feel like, ah, and then I see one of those coins. So it's kind of fun. That's a fun thing. So
That's
just know that there are a lot of people here trying to do their best, and they have a lot of restrictions because we're the one who actually turns on the radio or puts on the station.
right.
And anyway, so it's just really fun. So
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. That's beautiful. Donna?
Yesterday, I was walking to my car in a parking lot and I was thinking about this meeting today. I wanted to make sure I had written it on my calendar and I wouldn't forget about it because I knew I would have time to do it today. And something made me stop and I looked around and every car in the parking lot was either white or silver, every
Whoa.
single car. And I thought, wow, this is really strange. All the cars are white. And I drove out from behind the building to the front parking lot. Every car up there was white. And I started driving down the street, and all the way down the street, I kept seeing white and silver cars all the way. And I said, angels, it's angels. Angels are talking to me.
That's beautiful.
Angels want me to be aware. And I was thinking about coming to this webinar today, and that's what made me focus on it.
Wow, that is so great, Donna. You know, I'll give you another aspect to that is in Hawaii. You're not in Hawaii. I think you're on the mainland, right? Where you're in, you said in
Nashville.
In Tennessee, right? Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay. In Hawaii, we have a predominance of white cars. And we have that because I think it's because we don't get the colored cars. They get sold on the mainland. I'm not sure, Gloria, you could help me, but I'm pretty sure that's why we have a lot of white cars. We don't see a lot of silver cars maybe, but white definitely. And so maybe that's another way of them saying, yes, you're going to tune into Hawaii and this webinar and the angels.
Could be.
That's really good. Oh, thank you for sharing that so much. Yeah, you know, when I'm sitting in, Tatiana, please.
Hi.
Hi.
I think I shared with you about this experience. I think I wrote you an email. So one time I was meditating and Master Carol came like from the left side, but it was Fred. So it was Fred appearance. I see Fred.
His
But
body.
in my mind, it was Master Carol. He came and hit with something in my I don't know what was it, but hit my back here in my head. And left on the right side. And then he turned back, told me something, I don't know. I didn't hear the words, but he told me something and left. And I sent you an email and said, Karinna, what does it mean? It was very interesting experience. And the other thing, I was meditating and I fell down. I just fell somewhere. And I see the white thing, like white sheet covered me. And someone told me that was my angel just hugged me with his wings.
Beautiful. Oh.
So that was it was an amazing experience. It's very interesting.
Oh, Tatiana, thank you for sharing. I forgot about that. You did.
I remember I wrote you an email and said, what does it mean?
Yes, I remember that. Wow. You know, for me, I think I might have told you to go into meditation and do automatic writing to find out, because only, you know, I can kind of guess he's trying to get your attention about something.
Yeah.
But you would know yourself, what is it? Where might I be holding back? And Master Carol is trying to gently move me forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has moved me in that way forward also many times in my life. Not so gently, you know, like pushed. Yeah, because I love him and that's why. But thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and so yeah, we can talk about also relatives that have crossed over are no longer incarnate. When I see a butterfly in my garden, I know that's my mom flying through. because she became an angel. She became a seraphim angel. And so I know it's her way of checking in and saying hello. And Barbara had to leave, but Barbara was a good friend of my mom's too. And she couldn't really appreciate that butterfly analogy. So there's all kinds of ways. And I think, like Aldine said, the important thing is to pay attention. Things that might be just, you think, if you weren't paying attention, you'd think, oh, isn't that interesting? But if you pay attention a little more closely, and then the next time in meditation, ask about what was that? What did that mean? And do a little automatic writing, just jot down what you get, or just listen. Maybe you're not a writing person. I'm definitely a writing person, or, sometimes I like to sketch. Maybe you just get the answer. Maybe you just hear the answer. Maybe you feel the answer, or the greatest thing is, the answer and you know it in your heart, right? And that's something that we can all develop. Some people are really great at that immediately, but I had to work years to do that. So I can identify with all beginners or anybody who's trying, because you just have to keep going. Don't stop, don't give up. Yeah. All right. Any other shares? Because that is awesome. Awesome shares. Mary Faith, please. You have to see here, unmute.
Okay.
Gotcha.
About 5 or 6 years ago, I had a young friend about 20 or 30 years younger than I was, who was only 40. And she was married and she had 3 kids and a big golden retriever, and she got esophageal cancer. And she did everything she could to be cured of it. She went to Germany for treatments and everything. And she lived near me. So I frequently would go by and take the dog for a walk, because she wasn't getting around too well. So I went by and saw her one day, and she was just lying on her couch, and she wasn't feeling too well. So I took the dog out and I came back in and I said, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, she died that night. No one expected her to.
Wow.
And the next day there was this giant hawk who sat in a branch on the pine tree right on the outside of my patio. And that bird sat there for 3 days. And I know it, her name was Fanula. I know it was Fanula.
Wow. Wow.
The bird just sat there for 3 days and then never came back.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
even gives me goosebumps thinking
Me
about
too.
it. Yeah.
Me too. Wow. Yeah, that's just that. And if you're not paying attention, thank you, Wendy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Mary Faith, that's such a good example, because the spirits can use anything to get our attention. Anything. And I what you said is not quite as dramatic as that, but something happened to me when I was traveling with the goddess group, the Silver Wings of Light. And we went all around the world, and we were doing this spiritual work and ceremonies, in places like Machu Picchu and Mount Fuji and Moscow and all these different places to release the third dimensional matrix energy that was kind of hooked onto the planet, right? And we did that for about 10 years. And one time, there were 7 of us, and often, not usually, Kahu didn't usually travel with us. If he happened to be with us, then he was there, but he didn't specifically travel with us because he didn't need to. He could project himself to that area. This is why he's such a great master. And we were in one place and I can remember in Peru, we were on the journey to Machu Picchu, but before we went there were a lot of different places, spiritual places that we had to go to. And, they were not creepy, but they were dense energies that needed light. They needed a lot of light. And there were times when I and my goddess sisters felt a little challenged. It was really dense energy, and we had to really amp up our light. And one of those times I looked up in the sky and I saw a hawk flying like over our gathering and just going around and around and around. And I just knew that was Kahu Fred. And it was. Afterwards, I asked him, I said, did you go into that bird? Did you project yourself? And he did. And so that's an amazing thing, that even somebody that's, you know, a spiritual, of course, he was like an incarnate master, can project themselves into something that gives them a higher view on what's going on, right? So that is an awesome story, Mary Faith, about how we can connect with spirit, with guidance, right? And so that because it was 3 days, I think that the 3 days is the time when that spirit that's transitioning has to go to the different energies, friends, family, and kind of wrap up what they need to do before they go on to their next journey, whatever it is in the angelic realm, or maybe they do another lifetime, it's possible, or they go into guidance or back into the creator's light. So what a beautiful story, and what a great memory to have. So let's try a meditation now to connect into our spiritual guidance. So everybody just get comfortable, and I'll get comfortable too here. And just start breathing. And just take those deep breaths and imagine the golden particles above your crown chakra. And as you breathe in through your nose, you draw those golden particles down through your pineal gland in the signature cell in the center of your head, and just draw the light, and it changes there into white light, down into your heart chakra. Lock the breath, and then exhale and start to create this bubble of light, white light all around you. Breathe in, lock the breath, and weave the 4 bodies together, and exhale, and just feel yourself expanding, and you're creating this beautiful bubble of light all around you. And just feel yourself in the safety of this white light that you've got coming out of your heart chakra. And now, as you start to feel comfortable in this light, I'd like you to see before you a golden door, a door of gold, just a beautiful bright light. Reach out and open the door and step through. And as you step through, notice that you're stepping into this beautiful green forest. There's just forest energies all around you, beautiful trees, small shrubs. There's a river running down alongside this path that's in front of you. So close the door and step onto the path. And as you walk along this path, continue to feel yourself held in this beautiful light that you've created from your heart. And just know that you're safe here, because this is the forest of no fear. And as you keep going forward, you notice little forest animals kind of hopping around, nothing that might be scary. You just feel comfortable, and it's such a delightful space. And as you walk forward, you start to see that there's a golden light, kind of with a little violet tinge to it, in a clearing in the forest. So you see this clearing, and it's lit in light. So you gravitate walk toward this clearing in the forest, and there you see a circle of stones. And they're pretty good sized stones. look like you would be able to sit on one. So go forward and sit on one of these stones and just breathe and feel the energy of this space here in this forest of no fear, a beautiful, loving space. And you found yourself in the circle. There's also space now for your guidance to join you. And it's always important that we have a space where we can connect with our guidance and invite them in. So would you do that now? Just breathe, and from your heart, in your mind, in your heart, ask for your guides, your angels, your higher self, the energies that are guiding you in your journey to join you, if they'd like to, right now, by sitting on one of these stones. So you might have an angel there, maybe there's a guide, maybe several energies. Just breathe now and relax into this space. You've invited your guidance in, and I give you a moment now to just feel and see what you need to see here and feel what you need to feel. Just feel the beauty of this space. Send a light from your heart out into the center and allow your angel or your guide to connect to your heart light. And just feel this beautiful connection. Ask your question if you have one. Listen for the answer. Just feel the beauty. And when you're ready, thank your guides, your angels, whoever has come for you in this circle. Just thank them. It creates an attitude of gratitude, and you receive more and more guidance. So thank them and know that you can return to this circle in the forest whenever you want to. You can meet with your guides and your angels. For now, thank them. Stand up from the stone. Know that you can return. Turn and find the path again, back to that golden door. Turn around for one last look to the forest of no fear. Open the door and step through and return to where you began our meditation. And breathe. And slowly come back. And if you'd like to, take out a piece of paper and a pen and write down anything you'd like to remember. See if you received an answer or if there's something that you want to write down to remember. And slowly come back. All right, how was that? Did you meet any of your guides and your angels in our meditation? Or did you have a feeling of a presence from someone? You can type it in the chat or you can raise your hand. When I first did this is one of the first meditations that I did that created a space. It's always important, I feel, to have a space where our guides, we can meet with our guidance. So I do a regular meditation 3 times a day. I know everybody's going to go, whoa, but a longer one in the morning where I can do automatic writing, you know, and then one at afternoon, early afternoon after lunch. Each time I do the 5 breath self-healing meditation, of course, and then in the evening before I go to sleep. So if you don't have a regular meditation practice right now, it's really important to start that. If you have a regular meditation practice, expand it, maybe more, a little bit longer, or add one at lunch, or add, if you can, add one in the evening before you go to sleep. Expand the time that you can meet with your guides and angels and receive the guidance, because we all need guidance. And I think it's really important. It's great for people to come, people like me, you know, who give readings and do healings. I'm always happy to help people. That's my journey. I love helping people. And there are also ways that we can get our own guidance. And that's what I like to teach people, is how can you receive your own guidance? Because I can't be there all the time, you know? There are times when we just need guidance right away. And this is the way that, one of the ways we can do it. So any shares, somebody said Kimia was there. I believe he is one of my guardian angels and I speak to him often. Is that from Donna? Awesome, Donna. So this is great when you can start to learn the names of your guides. And how did you do that, Donna? How did you find out? Did you hear?
I read that on an angel site, and I can't remember the site off the top of my head, but I will find that and I'll send you the email address for it.
So you found the name and you resonated to the name.
And it's I believe it's categorized by your birth month.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. Very good. Okay.
That's how the name.
So you can confirm that yourself in like a meditation where you call Hekimia.
I think it's Hekimia.
Hekimia. You can call in Hekimia, the angel, and ask for a message and thank her, him, her. They maybe resonate to a male or female, but they really don't have a gender, right? So you know, I like to be grateful to my guidance. I mean, I'm saying thank you all the time. I overdo that a little bit, so I just say I'm grateful. That sounds, you know, because I'm always thank you, you know. I guess they get tired of that. So I just say I'm grateful. So you can be grateful, and then they know you want more, right? When we're grateful, it's just like asking for more of the same. So thank you very much, Donna, for sharing that. Other energies, anybody else feel the presence? Okay, so now watch for what happens now in your meditations tonight and tomorrow. Maybe Master Carol will show up again, Tatiana, and turn on your lights or whatever. We don't know. Yes, Wendy, go ahead.
I've had a guide for a long time that started early days in my life, and in the 1970s. And the way I met him, and I felt him, I have more energies than that now. But on your meditation was so beautiful. And when I was sitting on the stone, I could see I could feel these 3 different guides. And all of a sudden, I saw this myriad of stones appear in the background in the forest. And there were all these figures I couldn't see. And in the meditation, it gave me chicken skin. And when you talked about a council, I said, I realized these were all probably angels and guides. I don't know them, but more than I imagined. And it was really a full experience in my heart. So I thank you for that beautiful meditation.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. Yeah, we have, like I said, we have an entourage. So you know, we all, a lot of us have, I think most of us have counsels. So you could have an angelic counsel, you know, that's only, and counsels we know from the Lemurian Legacy book, Master Guide Kirill talked about councils. You know, councils were very important in Lemuria. They didn't have government like we have government. They had councils, right? And so every Lemurian was on a different council, and their number one job, first of all, was to find somebody to get them to take their place on the council. So they would start to mentor somebody else. And so this is a council, but you know, those were, you know, incarnate councils, but there are councils, I hate to use the word above us, but they are at a higher vibration than we are and not in this density of Earth, and they are guiding us. So you could find out, well, you know, who's on my council? You know, there could be a mixed council, there could be a guide on there. So I, you know, like you discovered, there is an entourage of guides and angels and spirit lights, and maybe even people that have been in our life in this lifetime and left and come back to guide us, because we can resonate to their energy. Yeah, there's all kinds. So thank you for sharing that, Wendy.
Yeah, can I?
Yes.
There's one thing, Karinna, that for me that you really resonated when you were talking about praying and meditating, and then listen for the answer. And I would say, for me now, that's this year and last year, I was really focusing on trying to listen, because, you know, I think most of us are praying and meditating and, you know, all of that, but I'm really trying to listen, just like the wonderful angels, the white car angels that Donna saw, you know, it's like just or Mary's, you know, to see that falcon, Mary was a falcon? No, falcon. And to realize it and not dismiss it with our mind. I think our mind gets in the way of receiving a lot. So it's really helpful for me. I'm learning to turn my mind off a lot. It's quite nice.
I like that. I work on that too, Wendy. Turning my mind off. Yeah, because it's the mind, our mind operates in the third dimensional world, and we need it, right? We need it to get through whatever we're doing here, and you know, pay our taxes, or you know, go to the store, or you know, relate with other people. But we're talking about a different level of awareness, and to do that, we go into our hearts, and that's a different type of being and awareness, and it's a higher level of vibration than the third dimensional world. And that will, like you say, Wendy, that's going to open up all kinds of guidance once we pay attention and go into our hearts and notice the white cars and the silver cars and the falcons and the pennies and the quarters and all the simple things. And I do believe we can find things, that angels are here to help us, like the lady with the ring that lost the ring. Believe that you can. Don't tell yourself you can't, and don't listen, like me, don't listen to your husbands. Listen to the people in your life that are telling you. Don't listen to your husbands, ladies. You know, I just learned to, you know, this is my husband. We have our journey. He just is very different, never got on the spiritual bandwagon. So, I mean, these are our lives, right? And so we have people like Master Guide Kirill and Kahu Fred now to guide us. They've left us an incredible amount of wisdom. And this is the wisdom that I grew up in spiritually, because at 40, I started my childhood in spirituality. And so you know, the wisdom is there. So I encourage you to, you know, check out all the books from Kahu and Fred. There's timeless. And also, as we bring this to completion soon, I'm going to do another webinar on in 2 weeks on April 15th about signature cell healing. So that's the webinar called Heal Yourself with Signature Cell Healing. And I send out a notice on the Signature Cell Healing newsletter list. So if you're not on that, you can go to signaturecellhealing.com and sign up for that list. We're going to be talking about you're not getting older. That's the title. You're not getting older, the magic behind the numbers. So we're going to talk about the Lemurian numerology, which is such an important aspect of guidance. We can get so much when we know our Lemurian life path number, and we know, what is the date, what kind of energy does the date have, and what are the numbers that keep coming up for me, just like the white cars come up all the time. Maybe you're seeing certain numbers all the time, or the age that we are. It has more energy than just getting older. It's about getting guidance from where we are at any given moment. And I think that's the most important thing. So you can sign up for newsletters on my website as well. I have a newsletter list. And also tomorrow morning at 9 Hawaii, I'm going to be at the Honolulu Church of Light, and I'll be doing the 5 breath self-healing meditation with everybody there, and also a little share that I'm going to do during the service. So, one thing really important is tomorrow night, April 2nd, is the global healing meditation for Mother Earth. So please join us. There's information about that on my website, and I'll put it up on the homepage. This is a meditation that we do. People around the world are doing this, light workers and healers around the world. We do it from our own space, wherever we are, at 9 p.m. our local time. And we send our light to Diamond Head, create this weave that goes around Mother Earth for healing. And our focus at the moment lately has been the Earth's water systems. So we're also sending light to a place on Oahu called Red Hill, Kapukaki, where the fuel tanks are right now being defueled. So we're holding our Mother Earth in love and light. So I hope you'll join us in that. And then next month on May 6th, we'll be back here with another Heart to Spirit Connections. It's so wonderful to see you all here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Aloha, everyone.